With $500, you're going to be able to start a business. Are we in a recession? I don't know. But I do know is you can start these 5 businesses with $500 or less. Let's just get right into it. So, like I said, we're gonna get right into it. These 5 businesses that you can start for under $500 are gonna focus around heat presses. There are tons of different heat presses that you can buy that are $150 or less, and I'm gonna talk about 5 different businesses that you can get started with them that actually make a lot of money and will cost you less than $500 to get started. Number 1, we're gonna talk about a hat customization bar and how easy this can be. So hat customization bars are like a new trend that I've seen a lot of, and you can do this really easy. What you'll just need is hat heat presses, and patches. Now, the best place to get patches, especially customized ones, are Ninja Patches. They are the sponsor of today's video, and I'm going to show you how you can use their patches to set up a hat customization bar. These are perfect for corporate events, for farmers markets, for parties, if you want to do like a party business. There's so many different applications or places that you can take this type of business. So let me show you how you can customize a hat with patches and how you can order your own custom patches on Ninja Patches. So I just took a graphic that I liked from Canva and downloaded it and then uploaded it to the Ninja Patch website. As you can see, they have standard patches, metallic flex, custom stickers. They have 3D embroidered patches, leather patches. They even have rhinestone sequin patches, which I think are really cool. Well, rhinestone transfers. But the process is super easy. I went with the embroidered patches. All you have to do is upload your file, and then you select the shape. You can go with round, square, or you can do the outline of the actual image that you're using. You then have to pick the border style. It just depends on what you want in the styling. You do pick the border thread and the background patch color. I did black for both of mine. And then you pick your application type. I went with the heat applied backing so that I can attach the patches with the heat press, which is super easy. And then you have to go ahead and pick your size. My patch that you'll be seeing in a little bit is a 3x3, and once you do that, it will adjust the pricing for the patches. The minimum quantity that you can order is 25, so that's perfect for starting out for your small business. Once you do that, only thing you need to do is go ahead and add your patch to the cart. Once you pick both height and width, you add your patch to the cart, and that is it. You check out, and it's super simple and easy to get your own custom patches made on Ninja Patches. So the patches came out just like the picture. They also give you heat tape, which is really great, so you don't have to get any. And then it comes with a little Ninja Patches card. As you can see, I have 2 hat blanks here. I just added a little paint just to give it a little pizzazz. Added my heat tape and used my heat press to apply for just a few seconds. And just like that, I was able to create a custom hat with Ninja Patches, and you'll be able to do this at an event super quickly, and a great business idea. Okay, so the next business we're going to talk about is a signed business. So fabric signs are really popular right now, and you can easily get this done with a heat press. Now, there's tons of different ways you can do this. If you don't want to invest in a machine like a Cricut, which you can still get a Cricut and a heat press for under $300. They have tons of them on secondhand markets. You can get a Cricut Joy Extra, I believe, for like $150, so that's still only $300. But you can do this multiple ways, or you can do like heat transfers, which you can get them from Ninja Transfers, DTF transfers, you can get them from there as well. But there's multiple different ways you can do it. So let me show you some of the signs that I'm talking about and kind of how you can make this business work with just a heat press. Easily, and don't just think about wedding signs. There's all different types of signs that you can make. And you can combine a heat press with a Cricut and make this a full-time business. Whether you make them for home decor or for parties and events, it's completely up to you. You can see there are so many different options
on what you can make. You can rent them out. You can just sell them like from places like Etsy. I'll show you a shop that's already doing this. And they sell these, let's just pick a random one, a 60 by 120 for $150. So this is a very profitable business, and it's something that you can easily start with just a small Cricut and a heat press.
Okay, so another business you can start with your heat press. This is not like a select type of business, it's more of an idea. So that's pop-up shop items. So I live in Houston, and there are tons of craft markets all the time, like every weekend. Even if you don't live in a metropolitan city like Houston, there's farmers markets and places where you can do a pop-up shop. And pretty much what I'm gonna say is you can curate tons of different blanks with a aesthetic so that it looks really great together. And I'll show you some pictures of people who are doing this successfully so you get what I mean. Now, pretty much all you're gonna need for this is a heat press. You're gonna need some good graphics, and don't worry, like there's so many ways to get graphics now that you don't even, I have a whole video on how you can make AI art, which you can do your own graphics if you want to. You can go to a place like Creative Fabrica, which I'll link down below. $3.99, you can get access to like millions of different pictures, fonts, images, all that kind of stuff. And you can just curate from there. Get the images printed with DTF, with Ninja why am I having a brain fart? With Ninja Transfer, and then you can get them, just press them onto your items. And there's items like totes, you can do t-shirts, bags, aprons, bucket hats, makeup bags, pretty much whatever you want to sell that you can apply to, like you can apply a DTF transfer to fabric using your heat press is super easy. And if you curate them really well and make them all look good together, make your table look good, and again, you can do this all for under $500, you could really get a good business started and actually sell your items for like $50, $45. You know, things at craft markets have like a higher price point. So this is a great idea to curate different items to come up with a vibe, only using your heat press and buying transfers, and then you can sell those items at markets, online, however you feel fit. But I think pop-ups are a really great way to make a lot of money in a short amount of time. Okay, so another business that you can start with just the heat press and under $500 is partial custom clothing. So what I mean by partial custom clothing, and I'll show you guys some things on the screen, is that you can buy wholesale items. You can buy wholesale dresses, pants, shorts, button-ups, whatever, and then take transfers like DTF transfers, or if you want to invest in a Cricut, you can do that. Under $500, there's more things you can do, but I'm talking about underneath $500. You can take your wholesale clothing, you can buy a wholesale bundle, and there's tons of places you can get wholesale clothing from. Even if you don't want to do wholesale clothing, you can go on places like Temu, Shein. I have videos that talk about how you can find wholesale stuff. I'll link them somewhere around here. But there's very easy to find wholesale clothing, and then you can take those clothing and add your own spin on it, add an image. This brand, what's the name of the brand? Hold on. So the brand is Tyler McGalvery. I'll show you some of his stuff. While this may be more high-end clothing because of the price point, you can see how like simple, like this swan dress, you can easily buy wholesale dresses and add your own image and make something very similar, and you see how much they're selling for. So that's just an idea of how you can make partially custom clothing directly for your brand. It's a shortcut. You don't have to cut and sew. You don't have to go to a manufacturer. It's a really easy way to make your clothing stand out on like basic wholesale items. You also can do this by adding appliques. So you can take fabric and heat bond, which this is heat bond. You can take the fabric, add it to the back of the fabric, and then heat press it onto the clothing. And there's so many examples I'll show you of things or people or items that are already doing this. That is super easy to do, not a huge hassle, and you can easily make partially custom clothing with your heat press. So if you want to start a clothing brand, you don't have a whole lot of money to invest in custom items just yet, this is a way to get started and then kind of build your inventory and your money and all that good stuff. And last but not least, and my favorite, is home decor. So tons of home decor items can be made with your heat press. One of my favorites, which people buy more frequently, are pillow covers. You can buy blank pillow covers from everywhere. Temu is a great place to get them. Also, Cricut really has great pillow cover blanks. I really like theirs. Are so thick and the quality is really good on them. So that's a place, and again, everything I talk about will be linked down below. You can also do custom table runners. You can do the fabric and heat bond method like I talked about, or you can do DTF transfers. Again, you can purchase a Cricut, or you can do printables. There's like printables, heat press paper. Is that heat press paper? That's not the name of it. Let me think of the name. Printable vinyl. So if you have a printer, if not, you can invest in a printer for like $100. Then you're still only at like 200. So, yeah, with the home decor items, you could easily, like I said, make pillow covers, table runners, wall tapestries. You can cut out lettering. You can use a Cricut. You can get one, like I said, you can get a Cricut for under $150 nowadays. There's so many different things you can do. You can get DTF transfers and use your heat press. A lot of different options just depending on what works best for you. You can also do blankets. Custom blankets are always popular. People love them for like newborns, wedding anniversaries, birthdays. People love custom blankets, so that's something that you can do as well. And then also canvases. So canvases, there's so many different ways you can do it. You can get printable vinyl. You can get all the things I've already talked about. You can take your images and apply them to a canvas. And with your images, like I said, create a Fabrica. ChatGPT now has an image creator. Midjourney. There's so many different places that you can get custom images. You can purchase images, Etsy. The list goes on to be able to take them and put them on your own items and then just sell them. So let's talk about the heat presses that you should buy for each category. This will be really quick, but just to give you the best option for heat presses so you know which one to buy for the category that you may be wanting to invest your $500 in. Okay, so for the hat business, like I said, you can get the auto press for the hat, which is like a manual press, one hat at a time. Super easy to do, about $150, so that's really great. Or you can buy mini presses. Now I have the Cricut brand one that you see me use to make my hat, but there's so many different brands out there. You can get them really inexpensive now on Amazon for about $50, so I'll link them all down below. Can't speak to the quality of the other ones. The Cricut one is really great quality. If you're going to be doing like events and stuff, you may want to purchase a more quality one. So that's up to you, but I'll link as many as I can below for your needs. So for the pop-up shop items, now what I would suggest for you is an auto press. Now auto press is more expensive. They are going to be around $250. I have the HT Vivant auto press. I'll show you that, guys, on the screen. That's about $250. An auto press means you just press a button, it presses itself. That's really better for those items, like I said, like totes, t-shirts, aprons, bucket hats, because it doesn't rely on you having a steady hand. It goes, you place it, goes down, comes right up, and it's perfect for precision. So that's something that is important if you're going to be selling items in bulk and you want them to have precision, and you also want them to have consistency. So that's something that you definitely want to purchase if you're going to be doing that business. Now with the sign business, I suggest a manual press. So I have like the Cricut heat presses. Those are what I consider a manual press. Those are great for doing larger items because you can move the press wherever you want. You can place items wherever, and it makes it much easier to press items on larger things. Like I said, like a fabric sign, art prints, wall art, things like that. A manual press is going to be the right one for you. The partial custom clothing, I also recommend the manual heat press, just depending on what you're doing. If you have a pair of shorts that has like cargo shorts that have a different texture, or if you're going to be doing button-ups, you want to be able to control that a little bit more. So I think a manual press for partial custom clothing is going to be the right one for you. Now with home decor, I'm gonna say it depends. I will say either auto press or a manual press, just depending on what items you're doing. If you're doing larger items, definitely a manual press. If you're just gonna stick to like coasters and pillow covers and table runners, definitely an auto press, because it just makes the time, it just makes it easier. You can set it and forget it. So those are the heat presses that I suggest you use for the 5 different businesses. Okay guys, so what business what business are you going to be starting for under $500 using your heat press? Let me know down below, and what was your favorite idea. Don't forget that everything is linked down below for you to be able to purchase easily and get your business started. My name is Akira, and I will see you in the next one.